Saturday, like the perfect riding day, because it's like sunny but not too hot, a little bit of wind to keep the flies away, just how we like it. I'm planning to spend kind of the whole afternoon at the yard today. It's one of my favourite things to do, kind of potter around, doing things, go for a ride. I've even brought a little picnic with me because I get really hangry, so you know, food is essential. Food is essential anyway. So today I'm going to take Qantas on probably one of the longest hacks we've done, but it's got lots of options to kind of cut it short and come back in case we get saddle issues again. Hopefully I think they're resolved. He's been pretty good in the school and he's not sore at all in the back. And I'm actually really looking forward to taking him out and having a nice time. I'm constantly trying to slot in elements of kind of the endurance competition experience, atmosphere and the things that we do in competition into everyday life and training, just so that the horses are used to it. So today Qantas is going to have for the first time some ice boots on. These are very old now. These are airborne, and they're kind of the ones that when you put in water there's gel and they kind of squidge up and are nice and cold. I'm not going to put them in ice water today, it's not that hot, we're not doing that much work. So all I do is before I go and get the horse from the field is I just pop it in a bucket, we'll put some cold water in, and then once we finish the ride we'll wrap them on, see what he thinks about his first experience with some cold boots. Okay, so they're completely submerged, ready to go in the stable, which because it's all brick and it's in the shade, it's super cold in there anyway. So whilst we're out on our ride they'll soak up all the water, squidge up a bit again, and we'll see how he feels about them. Azid is desperate to come out and do stuff too. He is starting work now, so you'll get to go out tomorrow, Azid. Hey Cuball! And you've actually got your fly mask on and you haven't taken Azid's off either. How are you guys doing? Yeah, it's a nice day, huh? So I've had Qantas about 6 months now. I bought him off one of the best endurance yards in the UK as a backed 5-year-old. So he has had the best start to life, really good foundation, so he's actually been really easy to train. But I haven't had the chance to ride him all that much because literally I had him in trial for a month first, kind of fell in love with him over that time, but I didn't really get the chance to try him out much because the day after the money got handed over he pulled a tendon in the field. The fields were particularly bad this winter, they were super boggy, we had a lot of rain. You already know that he had to go on box rest, which is why I've been taking it really slowly with him. So it's only really in the last 6 weeks that I'm really starting to like properly train him and get to know him. Because after the first tendon, he went back out. It was completely fine, but then I've got like a thermal imaging camera, and that was kind of picking up a little bit of heat on the other tendon as well because the mud was still super squidgy. So we went back on box rest. He was still sound, he was fine, but I didn't want to risk it. And literally on the stable door, you know those metal runners that stops them chewing it? Only Qantas could manage this. He managed to slice open his chin and then had to be on box rest for another 3 weeks with stitches. I know, come on. Saying bye to Azid. Azid's like, take me with you! He loves being involved. So I didn't ride him because I didn't feel like if I had stitches in my chin, I wouldn't feel like having a head collar on and getting super sweaty. So I didn't ride him until that was completely healed. So we've had quite the interesting first 6 months. This is where he sliced his chin. As soon as he did it, Dan cut this plastic tube piping in half and put this over the top instead, so that it is Qantas proof. Hey? Pre-ride snack and drink, Quball? A little kind of tip, kind of thing that I like to do quite regularly. I know. Can I over your foot please, is just have a look at how the shoe is wearing. So you can see here that he is landing laterally a bit more, and he is due to be shod in just a few days as well. He's pretty even on all the other feet, so I'll discuss this with my farrier. Obviously my farrier would notice anyway, but it's good to kind of know what your horse is up to. From the yard, we've got a lot of road. We have to cross a really busy main road, probably do a couple of miles on an A road. Qantas is amazing in traffic. I wouldn't dare take Azid that way by himself. It'd be like taking your life in your own hands. We're working on it. He's getting better in traffic, but we're not quite there yet. One thing, come on, it's horse poo. One thing I wouldn't say passionate about, maybe passionate about, is Hi-Viz. I never ever ride on the road without a Hi-Viz on, and I get really annoyed when I see horse riders and cyclists out on the road without Hi-Viz. The sun is in your eyes. If you're on a bay horse and it's a gloomy day and you're wearing all black, people can't see you. There are enough accidents as it is. So not only are you putting your own life at risk, you're putting the life of your horse at risk, and whoever is unfortunate enough not to see you. I come from mid Wales, and we are encouraged to wear Hi-Viz, not only for the roads, kind of the vehicles, the forestry lorries and cars and stuff, but also because the RAF do a lot of training through the hills in their jets and helicopters, and if they can't see us, they can't avoid us. And speaking from experience, having a fighter jet do some fancy stuff over your head on a horse at canter can be entertaining. I love trails like this through the woods. So peaceful and so nice, and like, even though we're in the Midlands and it is pretty built up and there isn't much hacking, little bits like this just make it like that extra kind of special touch of having the woods around you and not actually seeing anyone else. He's so sensible, but he really thinks about it. He's really honest. Doesn't do anything crazy, really engages his brain. It's quite refreshing for an Arab. Ride's gone. We did about 12 kilometres, which is about the furthest I've done on Qantas. Much happier, kind of ears pricked, super up for it, looking around, which kind of tells me he's a bit more comfortable in the saddle now. I may still have to buy him a narrower saddle, but this is kind of as good as this saddle's gonna get. And as he muscles out, I'm hoping that it'll be even better, kind of 100% perfect how I want it to be. But progress, not perfection. He seems super comfortable now anyway. We had 5 compliments out and about. It's the first weekend after the restrictions of the lockdown in England have kind of slackened a little bit, so loads of people out and about. and 3 people said how beautiful he was. He is pretty handsome, so I'm not surprised. But even better, 2 people commented on how immaculately behaved he is, and one was like, but he's an Arab. So that was really good, that's really nice. We've seen a lot of traffic, a lot of spooky things. We even saw a Ferrari, and midway around our hack, we popped in home to see Dan and get Qantas some mid-hack carrots. Yeah, so back home and do our post-ride routine, and it's first time in ice boots, but super happy that it was a nice ride. I've just washed Qantas down. I've brought him to the wash box because I want to try the ice boots on him, and I don't want to try it in a too confined a space. I know he's pretty good with boots on his front legs, but he can be a bit silly with them on his back. So they've been soaking in water whilst we've been on our hack, and now they're all kind of plump and squishy. So let's see how this goes. So there we are, boots on. So these will stay on for about 10-15 minutes. We usually use them in a vet gate. There's something called a recheck. So towards the kind of later vet gates on the longer rides, you present for the vetting first off and you get into the hold. But about 15 minutes before you leave, the vets like to check the horse again, just as a precaution, in case once the adrenaline is down they show any kind of stiffness or kind of signs of metabolic compromise. So 15 minutes before you have to go out on the next loop, you get vetted again. So when we've got those kind of vet gates with the vet checks here, and we put these boots on after the initial vetting for about 15 minutes. There's no point keeping them on longer because they're just a wrap, they're not continually pumping cool water around. They do heat up with the body heat. If you use ice water, obviously it lasts longer. Yeah, so it's been really, really good actually. A little bit of like, ooh, what are these? But Joe, some horses don't like drippy wet boots on them, and you've been an absolute superstar, haven't you? Yes, you have. Good boy. And last but not least, while Qantas has his massage pad on, I'm going to have my lunch and have my little picnic. This horse is obsessed with my sandwiches. I mean, maybe it's fish, because the last time, no, it wasn't fish. It was cheese and pickle. Maybe he likes cheese because there's cream cheese in this. What do you like? Eat your own food. When Dan's not here to help me poo pick, which actually isn't that often at the moment, maybe when we both go back to like normal life and work, I'll be by myself a bit more. I like to put an audiobook on, just mooch around, listen to it if I have time. Otherwise I'm like on speed poo picking. But today I'm going to put audiobook on, take my time, have a nice kind of afternoon in the field with the horses.